It's another warm, hearty welcome to you, our viewers, at home, at work, wherever you are.
Yes.
This is another exciting episode of Plumbing 101.
Come on. I'm also excited. I know you're excited. We've been waiting for this, especially the people viewing back at home. It's quite an exciting journey that we've started because this show is all about uplifting and professionalizing the plumbing industry in South Africa.
Absolutely, absolutely. My name is Willem Plumber. I'm one of your co-hosts, together with
Rendani Shibura, aka Randy, your number one MC. But I think we can't lose the tradition. You
Let's
gotta
not
kickstart it off with, you gotta love it, you gotta love it. Yes, man.
Yes, man.
Come on. Now, Willem, today's episode is quite jam-packed.
It is, it is.
The menu's looking a lot. There's a lot of information to touch on. So to the viewer back at home, I hope you're ready for this. It's quite exciting, as I did mention in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about sharing information with you, keeping you up to date, keeping you informed. And today we're going to discuss branding, the value thereof and the importance of branding. And one of the aspects of branding that we're going to be touching is how to unlock your business's true potential through branding.
This is an exciting topic for me because I believe branding is what determines the success, perception, especially for the consumer. Another topic we'll be touching on is why branding matters.
Then we'll also be looking at the benefits of a well-branded company.
We spoke about the fourth industrial revolution last time, digitization, technology, and obviously in today's episode we'll also be talking about the usage of technology in creating a powerful brand for your company.
So we have a lot of juicy detail for you, but just before we get into the juicy and the interesting detail, let's hop straight into an ad break.
Being part of an industry professional body is a personal decision.
To those who take pride in their trade, it stretches far beyond having a status of being licensed to issue certificates of compliance.
To them, the consumer matters.
As part of the plumbing industry, you help to bring the most valuable commodity to civilization. Water is life.
Be sure to continue to reap the benefits of being a proudly PIRB registered plumber by continually renewing your registration. Now, before we went for an ad break, we did emphasize on our topic of discussion for today, which is branding. I did mention that for me, this is an exciting topic because it's all about the corporate identity and it's all about promoting the quality of product or service that you as a plumber, as a tradesperson, as a business person offers. It's about getting that value proposition out there and visually. And it goes beyond that. Let's try and simplify it. Let's leave the fancy words, okay? Let's break it down.
Let's leave the corporate jargon.
Let's leave the corporate jargon. All right, let's break it down to simplicity. When we talk of brands, I'll use an example. Let's talk about takeaways, all right? Let's talk about chicken. I'm sure there's certain brands that you're thinking of already.
Immediately.
Come on.
You say the word chicken and takeaways,
Hey!
immediately certain brands pop into a person's mind.
Some of them have chilies. All right.
and all secret recipes and spices.
Of course. But bringing it back, we're not talking about food. We're still focused on the plumbing industry. It's to make you understand the importance of corporate identity and investing in your brand. There's so much focus, Willem. I've learned this about the plumbing industry. The plumber focuses so much on the work and the craft, and the brand identity, the corporate identity is seemingly also neglected. Hence, it's important to understand the meaning of branding.
Absolutely. We're talking about branding and we're talking about, you used the word identity, and I just want to get back to that quickly. One of the key aspects or the key factors of branding is establishing something like a proper name for your company, something that resonates with what you deliver, who you are, and as well as the type of services that you deliver.
Yes.
But also a proper company logo.
Of course.
That forms part of your identity. And then also a nice catchy slogan that resonates again with what you have to offer and who you are. But branding is about much more than just that logo or that company name or that catchy slogan. It's also the way in which your customers perceive you. It's the way that your customers see you, and therefore it's important. Things like building relationships with your target market. That forms part of branding. That's an aspect of branding. Establishing customer loyalty and shared values. You know, the fact is that when customers know that you share the same type of values, you know, things like trustworthiness, things like quality services and products that are delivered, those kind of shared values will establish things like trust with your between yourself and your customers. And therefore, branding also improves recognition. People recognize you, they recognize your inputs, your values, when they see or hear your company's name, your company's logo, they immediately associate certain things
100%
with that.
100%. Let's break it down in this way. What are the key objectives of any organization? It's to grow, all right? And how do you grow? You need to expand your consumer connection. And what leads to that? It's investing in your marketing, your branding, your corporate identity. And I'll ask this question, Willem, all right? Think about it this way. What's the point of offering a world-class service, all right, top of the standard, without getting it out there?
Without anybody knowing about it.
Without anyone knowing about it.
True.
It's like you're playing in a circle, you know? So the whole purpose of branding corporate identity is to make people understand the value you offer and getting it out there. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of benefits that come with it. But it's about investing into your corporate identity, creating a sense of awareness with potential customers, growing your business. You cannot grow if people do not know.
Exactly.
That even rhymed, eh? That even rhymed.
You're a poet and you don't know it. But talking about putting it out there and making people aware of it and putting it in the subconscious mind of it, there's a sort of one of the mistakes that people make, Randy, when it comes to branding and marketing for that matter, is not having an online presence.
Yes, a digital presence. It goes back to the fourth industrial revolution. Before I even get into that, all right, we've currently been on the Plumbing Industry Registration Board's roadshow nationally. We've been traveling throughout the country, engaging registered as well as non-registered plumbers. But there's an interesting thing that has popped up in every single province. As I did mention, in the plumbing industry, the plumbers are so well invested into their craft, but have ignored, and I'm talking about majority, a large number, have ignored the corporate identity, the investment into their brand, and making sure that the consumer can have a sense of certainty, you know, when selecting the right service provider. And I'll give an example. Most of the plumbers still utilize telephonic means of use to engage the consumer. A simple email. You know, we've realized most of the plumbers don't even have an email, you know, and I think it starts there. But I have to be honest, a lot of people haven't really adapted to the technological use. And I think it's quite intimidating for the plumber, someone who's more focused on, you know, operations, day-to-day maintenance, installations, and you know, the list is
the trade, working with the hands, rather than working with the digitalization of things and the technical stuff and the technology out there.
100%.
But the fact is, the technology should not be as intimidating. It's like learning how to drive a car. I mean, if you can learn how to drive your company van so that you can get to site and work, and if you can learn the tricks of your trade and all of the relevance, you know, the standards that you have to comply with when you're doing your work, your installations, then certainly you can learn how to use technology.
Yes, it's ABC, accelerator, brake, clutch. I like that example of learning how to drive. It's quite intimidating in the beginning. But as you go on and you learn the methods, it's the same thing over and over again. So it's quite critical that you're not intimidated, but have the interest of learning so that you can invest in your company as a plumber and ensure that there's growth. Branding is a critical tool. If people don't know the value you offer, people become reluctant. You see, people doubt. It creates a sense of doubt. They doubt the professionalism as well.
It is true. You know, we should put ourselves out there and make ourselves as visible as possible. That is what speaks to the target market. That's what goes and sits in the subliminal mind of the target market. When they look for a plumber or a plumbing company, your name, your company's name, and your company's logo, and your company's catchy slogan, and the the other factors and the other aspects that are associated with your brand, such as your values, the standard according to which you operate, and the services that you delete. Those things should be the first that come into a customer's mind
100%.
when they. And finding them online on the internet is one space, because everybody, when they look for services and products, the first place they go to is online.
100%. Before we go on to an ad break, I have to say this, all right? Digital presence, we speak about a website as well. That's 24-hour marketing for you, because people can go online at any time. There's no limitation. Meaning, what's the value out of it? It could lead to an increase in consumers and customers. But I can see we're getting into it. Let's not waste any time. We're going to take a quick short break, and we'll be right back just after this.
Coming up next, find out what makes a business successful as we reveal the best tips to set yourself apart through branding. We unlock your business's true potential by sharing the value of capitalizing on branding strategies. Later, let us get you updated on plumbing and sanitation news with Tobile. Then, we hear from one of our proud plumbers from the PIRB roadshows. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
My name is Richard Niederholt from Advanced Valves. I've been involved in pressure reduction valves for the last 26 years. Advanced Valves was founded 6 years ago by myself. We have grown from strength to strength, first starting with a pressure reduction valve, moving along onto vacuum breakers, safety valves, drain cocks, fine filters, thermostatic mixing valves, hydro boxes, diverter valves, and we are not stopping to continue developing new products. Our valves are available at all leading plumbing retailers such as Plumlink, Buco, Build It, Cashbuild. I appeal to all plumbers in South Africa to support Advanced Valves, as we are proudly South African.
Welcome back on Plumbing 101. We are continuing our discussion on the topic of branding.
Yes.
And just before we went into our ad break, we quickly discussed with you what branding is, the value and the importance thereof, and some of the common mistakes that people make, like not using the internet and having an online presence and those kind of things. I would like to add to that, Randy, why should people invest in branding? Why should they? Many people think that investing in branding is a very expensive thing. Initially, it may cost you a couple of bucks to have a designer design a proper company logo for you, and to come up with a name, etc. But there are other things that are not so expensive when it comes to finances.
Yes.
But those kind of things we'll discuss now when we give the people a few tips on where to go to and how to establish their branding. But some of the reasons for why they should invest in branding is that, number one, is it enhances credibility.
Yes.
When people become familiar with your brand and other aspects and factors that are associated with your brand, like quality services, like good values, then it enhances your credibility. People can see you on the internet, they see a presence of you in magazines, they see your name and branding on lampposts, and when they hear referrals from other customers that you've previously dealt with, they know that this is a credible company that they can trust
100%,
because it builds trust,
and that goes back to reputation as well. It increases your reputation, so it becomes more. There's growth around your brand, and word of mouth spreads as well, meaning the revenue will increase ultimately. Yes, but it enhances credibility, as you said.
It builds trust.
Yes.
And it puts you at the edge of your market. It puts you it gives you a competitive edge within your market.
100%.
When people immediately think of your brand, when they are in need of your services and your products.
100%. I mean, ultimately, this is a return in investment.
Yes.
If you invest in something, you have to assess the return. And the return of branding is that there's more customer awareness, which increases the revenue. Ultimately, I mean, what's a business without a high revenue? You want to make a profit. So the more you can get your brand out there, the more consumers know about your brand, and the more your organization will grow. And I must emphasize on this, once you have a solid brand and a corporate identity, it's quite crucial that you understand the concept of brand association. The Plumbing Industry Registration Board has introduced a leader board, and I'm talking about a ranking for the plumbers within different regions. And I can tell you right now, the benefit of that is that there's credibility, as you mentioned, for the consumers, but the people or the plumbers and the customers, or rather the plumbers and the companies that will be ranked the highest are probably those that will have a strong brand identity.
People would know, customers would know, the consumers would know that you are associated with a professional body.
Yes.
Meaning that your services already and your products already will be of professional level.
Yes.
Right. So it's good. And then, of course, like you said, when you're on that database of a professional body like the PIRB, you're searchable on their website as well. And you will be ranked according to your performance. Again, that forms part of your brand. If you're ranked high with the other performance, the other high performers, that forms part of your brand. It's what people associate with you.
I think it's quite critical that we also give the viewer back at home an understanding of simple ways, to brand your business, especially for you, the plumber. All right, remember, forget the fancy words. It's about investing in what you're already offering and getting it out there for the consumer to know. And I think it's quite important when you do establish your brand, you need to define your ideal customer. Your target market has to be clear. And do everything with quality. Don't just do it for the sake of, I've got a logo, let me just put up a social media or Facebook page. Do it with quality. Invest not just money, but time. Time so that the consumer can understand the power of your brand. And consistency. That's such a crucial word.
That's the thing is, you can go onto social media platforms and start promoting your brand out there, putting your brand out there. But you can do it for 2 months and then you can just leave it and let it go and forget about it because you're focused on the daily operations and the trade that you're actually doing, the work that you're actually doing every day. So let's not do that. Let's stick with consistency. If you're going to market and promote your brand, stick to it. Be consistent. Go for it.
100%. And you spoke of social media. Yes, it's not as difficult to establish a Facebook, an Instagram, or a Twitter page. But the moment you're not consistent, if you start posting and you show the quality and then all of a sudden you stop, that gives an indication of a lack of consistency, which will disrupt the reputation of your growth. So it's quite crucial that you are consistent, invest your time as we summarize it, and put effort into it. Create brand awareness around the services and products that you offer. That will maximize and enhance growth for your company.
Igama lami Chrispen Mbewe. Ngine-12 years ngisenza i-plumbing. So ngiyajabula kakhulu ukuhlangana ne-PIRB, i-plumbing board, ukuthi basinike i-opportunity njengale ukuthi nathi sivele. Ngisebenza under i-company yami Chrispen Mbewe Investment. Ngiyenza nge-plumbing, actually i-plumbing yonke, siyenza yonke i-plumbing. So siyabonga ama-opportunity esiwanikezwa i-PIRB kulesi sikhathi. So into esikhalisayo kakhulu esikhala ngayo njengama-plumbers nama-owners e-plumbing, sifuna basigadele imisebenzi, sifuna basipromote, basibeke kwezinye indawo lapho nathi sizobona ukuthi asesiphakamile njengabantu abamnyama. Yebo, siyabonga.
Welcome to the Plumbing 101 News. According to an article by David Courier on Everyone's Internet Press Newswire, stainless steel pipes market is expected to have a CAGR rise of 4.8% from 2021 to 2030. These pipes are used for plumbing application and sanitary works such as bathtubs, faucets, shower heads, and toilets. So if you are looking to renovate your bathrooms and kitchen, make the financial plan soon because the prices are on an exponential rise. With the holiday season coming up, Austin Fazer of ABC4.com shared some tips and on ways to prepare for the festive season, which include the following. Having a plumbing inspection or water heater flush done to ensure that plenty of hot water will be on hand for gatherings. Pouring the grease into the sink. Preventing loose hair from dropping down the drain in a shower. And lastly, having a plunger for each toilet in your home. Plumbers and consumers, Please share your tips for the holiday season on the comment section below or on our social media. Facebook, PIRB. Twitter, @Plumbing Board. Instagram, plumbing_industry. We cannot wait to hear from you. Just as a reminder, plumbers, do not forget to get your CBD points up for the PIRB leaderboard. Keep in mind that it is not about the most points all at once. It is about your continual development of your skills throughout the coming weeks. Consumers, we have made it easy for you to find a credible and professional proud plumber on our search function. Visit our website on www.pirb.co.za to get a plumber you can trust. On other exciting news, this one is for our roadshow attendees. The PIRB is giving away 5 Apex courses to our licensed plumbers that were interviewed on the roadshows. We loved hearing from you and how you contribute to the upliftment of the plumbing industry. So, we want to give a token of our appreciation in the next coming weeks. The winner will be announced on World Toilet Day, which is on the 19th of November. So please come and engage with us and stand your chance at winning Apex scores. From me, Tobile, till next time, I'm signing out.
As we've just witnessed in the ad break, the 27th of November is one of the big days within the plumbing industry. It's the Champions for Charity White Collar Boxing event. To you, the viewer back at home, donate to your charity of choice. I mean, Willem, you've got that line, man. You've got that line. Talk to me.
Let's plow back into society with a punch.
Come on, yeah.
It's all about charity.
It's all about charity and making a difference in society, uplifting and empowering others. So a big shout out to every stakeholder that's responsible for that. But as we wrap up today's show, I mean, just a quick recap. It was quite a powerful one, all right? Branding, corporate identity, investing in your reputation, you know, and the services and products that you offer as a tradesperson, a plumber in specific.
Putting your brand out there, the importance thereof, the value that it carries and brings. At the end of the day, it brings in money, so it's a return on investment. So it's worthwhile spending that a little bit of time and effort and money into investing in a brand, in identity, and factors, other factors that are associated with your brand.
Ultimately, when you invest in your brand, we uplift the plumbing industry at large. We become professional, and that's why it's so important. So remember, take the advice, use it wisely, invest in your brand, invest in your corporate identity, and from a cost-effective perspective, all right, make sure you open a Facebook page, an Instagram page, I mean, social media at large. I mean, it can't cost you that much, but it can be so rewarding for yourself as a plumber as well as an organization.
Absolutely. Remember, we keep going back to that word professional.
Yes.
You're associated with a professional body, the PIRB.
Yeah.
You're associated with a professional trade, which is plumbing. So the more professional you make yourself, your company, your brand and your identity look, the more professional you're going to make the industry look.
100%. As we wrap things up, I think it's been a fantastic episode. I can't wait until we do this again. Remember, the name of the show is Plumbing 101.
And it's all about,
come on, what is it about?
informing you.
Educating, informing you, and keeping you entertained. I go by the name of Rendani Chibura, aka Randy, your #1 MC. And
I am Willem Klopper, your co-host.
come on!
And we are saying Goodbye.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yes, man.
We do.